Jones gives it to Corey Kiner. Charges straight up the middle and runs into the end zone, standing up, giving him 100 yards and giving the Bearcats a 16-7 lead. Newman has the ball, takes a pass toward the corner, does it again, passes to Bandego. Aziz outside the arc. Now Lukosius curls off a screen, shoots a three, makes it. He made it. 3 seconds to go. The Bearcats up by 1. San Francisco launches from center court. No good. Simas Lukosius.
His 5th plate appearance tonight. He swings and hits it high and deep to left field. Goodbye, home run. Carrington Cross. A 3-run shot. And it's now 7-3 Cincinnati.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GoBeercats podcast, part of the Catskeller Social Club and the Bearcats representative to the College Huddle community. I'm Brandon. He's Darin. I don't have a bell to ring, damn it, but it's ringing somewhere, maybe in our ears. How we feeling tonight, Darin?
Feeling good. It's good to get that win. We'll get more into it after we crack open some cold ones.
Absolutely. Feeling good after that. Just the stench of that loss last year. Glad we avenged that. Let's go ahead and crack some open, Darin. It's time for a beer. I went with this probably was my favorite lighter beer before Cincy Light. It is called Voss. I think I've had it on the show before. It's from Sonder. It's a Kolsch, but it kind of, I don't know, drinks like a Pilsner maybe. So I don't know. I really like it. It's available all year round. And I saw it today and I was like, that's what I need to drink tonight. So going with the Sonder Voss.
Not a beer today, a canned beverage though. I was at if you saw my short, I was at Tailgate Brewery after the game after my friend got in town. But while I was there, I picked up some natural sweet tea from Natural Sweet Tea Co. I guess they sell it there. I don't know if that's actually maybe a front for them. I haven't looked too far into it, but it is non-carbonated and non-alcoholic.
Okay.
Crack one open, but it's they're pretty good.
Very nice. Do they have like an alcoholic version of it as well?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I grabbed this originally thinking it was one of their branded drinks, but I was like, when I saw it, I was like, I'll keep it. Last time I was there, they had like a snickerdoodle beverage they were working on. It wasn't alcohol; it was a beer. But they had just finished that keg off when I asked for it on Saturday. So they replaced it with a different baked good though. So
nice, very nice. Yeah, I thought of you this weekend. Urban Artifact came out with a. Did I have that on the show? I don't think I had it on the show. My days, my brain. But they have a new version of Cappy Snacks. It's a blackberry one, and it's pretty solid. So I thought I was want to take a picture and send it to you, but I forgot to do that along the way. Really good if you have someone muling down for you anytime soon. See if they can get the new Cappy Snacks. I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Sounds good. Yeah, no, my buddy did mule some stuff down, but he happened to stop in Louisville and grab some drinks for me. So I'll be drinking those as we progress through the shows.
Hell yeah. Immediately after the game, Darin, we had our Twitter Spaces, Last Call Cats. We were pretty excited about the Bearcats beating Miami. I wouldn't say that they crushed them or slaughtered them in any way, shape, or form, but winning well enough, 27-16 this past Saturday to bring back the bell. What do we think a couple days later now that it's settled in a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, there were some opportunities to crush them. I think if some calls go our way, or plays go our way, if plays go our way and we do the right thing, we end up crushing them. But then again, you never know how things are going to play out from that point if something changes. So it's really always hard to say. But hey, I think looking down the barrel at 17 points at half probably looks a little bit different anyway, regardless. But I'm so proud of this team. They overcame. They played way more solid in aspects that have been lacking the past 2 games. And I'll say I was. Well, everybody says it's one we should have won. You know, I mean, the whole P4, G6 now, I guess. Concept. Less talent to smaller schools. I wasn't expecting to be as ecstatic as I was when winning, but seeing those players get that juiced up about it at the end of the game really, did something to me. So it just made me happy to see. It made me really proud. And I have a question for you later that I can pose around that
Okay.
after we get into it. So
I would agree with you. Definitely there was it seemed like they were running around the field because I had to go to the liquor store. We had our Oktoberfest this past weekend, so I had to go there, and I was listening to Dan talk about how they're running. I could just imagine it like a cartoon pod running from like corner to corner of the field trying to find the bell. I don't know why it seemed like it was hidden for some reason or something. I don't know if that was on purpose or what. But the descriptions that he was telling us about the celebration, I was definitely on top of my relief of not losing the game. We talked about how we were a little nervous here. It's definitely good to hear about those guys, and then the media videos coming out afterwards. About just the celebrations was all good stuff. Loved seeing that as well.
Yeah, I mean, they even planted the flag in the field afterwards.
I took note of that. I love that.
I mean, it's sad too. He was excited. I mean, every coach obviously loves to win, but like he was, you would have thought he just won a championship.
Yeah.
So as much flack as he gets and what people think about him, that is refreshing to see. Obviously, you don't want to get too high with the highs a lot of times. But if the coach is invested like that has to mean something, right?
Yeah.
It has to count for something, obviously.
Bouncing back from an emotional loss at home against a rivalry. I'd call Pitt a rivalry, even though it's not visited every year.
Well, did they take the paddle wheel with them?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, because someone had mentioned that. I don't know if it was Viva or if it was Bearcat Bunch, but someone had mentioned like after that like for the first time, like was it like 19 years or something like that, we didn't have a rivalry trophy in the case. So. Yeah,
that was brutal. So we I guess we went technically 7 days without one.
Yeah.
We brought one back. It's good to have something in the case. What do you think? What do you think about the game? Like, what is there a stat that stood out to you, or a performance, or something that was kind of like the shining beacon of this game for you?
The run defense was better. I mean, I mentioned before that going after the Townsend game, that they were going to need to be able to plug their gaps and do their assignments, not miss tackles, not get blown off the ball. They struggled with that at Pitt still, but I mean, they were actually stopping the progress, and it ended up resulting in I think just about 20. Yeah, it resulted in 26 points or 26 yards rushing.
I mean, holy cow!
What
a terrible day.
Yeah. Now some of that is the sacks and the drop punt. So that does count to the stat. But even still, it's not great. Not a great day rushing. So.
Yeah, because you're talking about the sack. It looks like that's -5 yards, and then that fumble is another 16. So you're talking, even if you add that, right? You're talking about what?
It's a sub 100 performance regardless.
Sub 50 still, right?
Sub 50, yeah. I mean,
142. Math, you're somewhere in the 40 neighborhood, and that's that's not that's still a pretty damn good showing for the defense and a bad day rushing the ball for Miami. So I would love to hold every opponent in the near future to 50 yards or less. I don't know if that's humanly possible, but seems like it'll be a good day if we could get that to happen. On the flip side of that, Corey Kiner went off again, 126 yards, a TD, 21 carries. I don't know if you caught the press conference today. I did not watch it. I didn't watch it, but I was watching sort of the live tweets of it. And it seems like Coach is pretty dead set on having Kiner with around 20 carries a game.
Okay.
I would like that number to be higher. But he in his opinion, he thinks Corey is most efficient or at the top of his game. I think it's something to that effect when he's around 20 carries a game.
Yeah, no, I mean you found your every down, go get it back. You know, I don't like necessarily like the all the pejoratives and like farm related references to running backs, but he is your every down back. He's going to go out and get those yards that you need, and get every yard. He thinks I'm going to get every yard I can instead of I go score a touchdown or break it off, or
yeah.
Because if you do that first thing properly, if you do, I'm going to get everything I can out of this properly, good things are going to happen after that. Then you can break away. Then you can get that touchdown.
I've not heard anyone else describe it like that. Maybe they have, and I've missed it. But you're 100% right. He's not looking, and we even seen it this past game, where he doesn't have breakaway speed. He said he's worked on it in the off season. That maybe it's like the one, con or the one negative on his game is kind of lacks that breakaway speed. But that's not necessarily what he's looking for. Like you just said, he's looking to get that one more yard, and he's out there trucking people, and where he's not going to get one more yard, he's going to get 3 or 4 more yards and look really good, solid doing it. And I thought he was punishing this past weekend.
Well, Cooper, when we had him on filling in for you. He said he wanted to kind of break me of the habit of, or at least in most of the fans, hanging on to the words that Sat had last year about his running backs. But Kiner took that to heart.
Yeah.
He's still not, and that's not his game. He's not going to be your, busted out and he's gone. But he cut weight. He got his body in a good position for him. He looks more agile. His finesse moves are better. He was spinning and staying upright and going. Yeah, he's going to truck you, but also he's going to make you slip a tackle. And so he's in a good spot. I think he took that challenge the right way. And then you have Pryor to truly be your speed back. I was thinking it was going to be Chance Williams. He was kind of, from the reports was, doing well in practice, but hey, that's practice.
Right.
Depends on what you do in the game. And so it looks like Pryor's taking that secondary role to, once they're kind of worn down, he can, take advantage of that and bust out and go.
Another guy who I thought had a great game, but it's just like, I don't know what metaphor I want to use here, but it's just like the cookie didn't crumble in his corner on Saturday. It was Joe Royer. We discussed this on Last Call Cats. I fucking hate the touchback rule. It does not compute in my brain. I've talked to you about it. I've talked to my friends group about it. No one can explain it to me in a way that makes good sense. So I hate that rule. He was robbed there. The team was robbed of a chance to score again there. I hate that. And then what was the other one? He had what was the second one he had called back?
Gerhardt was blocking down field.
Oh, that was what?
And it was kind of a ticky-tack call. I'd say
I hated that.
Honestly, he was more robbed on that one.
Yeah.
The first one.
The first one definitely fumbled.
Yeah,
I just hate the
rule,
the other team the ball.
Yeah, the rule itself is suspect, right?
Yeah.
But
I think he 100% did not cross the goal line.
He didn't cross 100%. The goal line, and then when you have that many bodies going towards you, at a certain point, you have to make a decision: are you really going to commit? Like when you're handling the ball after you've already taken a few shots, you know, it's you better hope you cross that goal line because it is coming loose at some point. If it's not on the way down, as soon as he falls, they may have still fumble at that point,
Yeah.
But you got to protect the ball once you got that many bodies surrounding you. I mean, kudos to him for breaking a few tackles. I was hoping at a certain point he just folded in. Yeah, folded in. But yeah, no, he was robbed of a good performance. He still had a good performance. He made the plays, but unfortunately, they just don't count the stat sheet for that day.
Yeah. I mean, Sorsby was dealing it out. I mean, Henderson. I mean, he is. I mean, the favorite target. I mean, he's the best receiver that we have. 10 receptions, 108 yards. Didn't catch one for a touchdown. But it seems like every time Sorsby needed bailed out as he was scrambling or extending the pocket, it was Henderson who found himself open, kind of found himself on the receiving end of that, which, you got to, as a quarterback, you got to love having a guy like that can read that you're in trouble and go make a play.
I mean, those comeback curls and hitches have been there the past 2 games, really. Because I think they've decided they're not going to let him go free. Is the game plan. And so they're taking what he gives them. I mean, Sorsby took some shots. I mean, physically as well. He hung in the pocket, throughout that game. And I think what people are starting to notice is, he's got some legs and he can run if that's what needs to happen. But he's looking to use his arm.
Yeah.
When he rolls out, you got to worry about him baiting you in.
Yeah. Because
he's going to hold on to it if he can and find something. There's sometimes you wish you'd get rid of the ball, when he's, trying to do some Houdini stuff. But overall, I mean, I'm not dissatisfied with his play. I mean, it's funny, he still threw on 21 attempts out of 34. I mean, that's an okay day as far as attempt percentage, but I think robbed of some of those those bigger plays really just didn't show up on the stat sheet for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, that just kind of indicates we were taking what the defense was giving us. Third down efficiency was okay, just under 50%. Fourth down efficiency 1 for 1, which is great.
Take that.
Yeah.
Penalties 5 for 35 yards. Another sort of brutal outing in a season so far that we're begging them to play a clean game.
Yeah.
Like I know we're only 3 weeks in, but man, when are we going to have one? If we had a 1 for 10 yards type of game, I don't know. Maybe we get lucky and it comes against Kansas State or something.
Right. Yeah. We play a clean game. They just can't get it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that. We're going to need a game like that down the stretch.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, you want it every game, but we're going to need that down the stretch. Regardless. Especially, I mean, last year, there was a lot of games that we were in it, and then one thing or another, whether it's just fumbles or interceptions, bad special teams play, penalties, that can be the difference between winning and losing, hopefully, this year if we're playing a little bit more clean. And that and depth, really, that we've started to develop. I'd say that's the other thing that's actually on display is the depth. I think the D-line is starting to find their way, especially with Corleone coming back and being enforced. I think guys are starting to fit their roles. We got some young participants on defense. This is going to pay dividends later for the guys who aren't redshirted.
For sure.
I think we'll hit that 4-game limit this week and we'll find out we'll see again who we want. That's going to hopefully pay off later. We actually have 1s and 2s now.
Let's look ahead here. Let's talk a little bit more about this Houston game now. Bearcats.
Before we get into that, I wanted to pose that question that I mentioned.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Rivalry game. We talked about how it felt way better than we expected. We were only assuming relief. This got me thinking about post game, I got thinking about this when a friend who went to Miami, a little bit way younger than me, but he graduated recently, was talking about the chest thumping and the advertisements and the social media. Part of me thinks he was just a little upset still about the game, but he was speaking as if it wasn't a rivalry anymore. Like I said, it sounds like he was just a little upset. But it got me thinking. I'm like, well, things have changed for the fan base. It feels like, right? Obviously, losing does a lot after going 16 games in a row. You feel like you've been robbed. You feel like it's, things aren't right. But then also, I was making the argument that with the changing landscape of college football, regional rivalries being destroyed, I think, and also couple that with having played in our original rivalry slate in 2 years. We played Louisville, and Pitt and Miami all 1 year last year, and Pitt this year again, and Miami this year.
Yeah,
lost those trophies. With those, I feel like the fan base kind of comes to realize the importance of games like that. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
I think with the losing it definitely changed some attitudes there. I mean, you can only beat a team so many years in a row before it gets boring. And then couple that with the news that the series would no longer be played, and then add into the fact that the series was tied. Whether the series goes on or not, you want to win. You want to have the all-time record in the series. You want to be the last one to win the game, to hold on to the trophy. I mean, we can circle back to Louisville losing the keg and nails. What was that, 2013 or something like that? That sucked. So I think it just added a fresh dynamic to it that we haven't felt for a while. Over the past 2 years now, the last two games, and it I think it refreshed the series. I've been calling for the end of it for a while, and I've had some people sway me. Some former players sway me that, hey, maybe we should keep playing it. I'm definitely not in the definitely cancel it camp anymore. I'm probably more middle of the fence now. But I mean, this week was fun. The game was fun. Not that I want to keep losing every couple of years to Miami, but I can appreciate the freshness to the rivalry. So I don't know if I answered your question or not, but
I guess to represent his argument a little bit better, I think the other point he was making, I forgot to mention, was he kind of framed it as, why would us, a P4 school, we're going on to go play in the Big 12 play, and they're going on to play Notre Dame in a bye game. Why would we concern ourselves and with this so heavily?
Yeah,
like we're not even in the same category anymore. But I also mentioned, like with NIL, like teams, you never know who's going to win now,
right?
Outside like the top 5 schools.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy into that, because I think there's been a formula for the schedule each year. It's a lower level team. Then you try to go out and you play, like match your competition in the power conferences. I mean, obviously us and Pitt are pretty close, on field, and then you play Miami as the MAC school, kind of like the in between the first 2 weeks. That's been like the formula for a while. I don't have a problem with that formula at all. I don't, with being in the Big 12 now. The argument in the American was you got to go schedule Power 5 teams, because we got to try to make the 14 playoff. Yeah, we don't. That's not a concern of ours anymore, because every week is hell in the Big 12 right now, pretty much. So I don't think. I think the formula that we've been at works for us better now. Now, if you're Miami and you say, well, we can go get Notre Dame to pay us $1.5 million 1 week, and we can go to Ohio State and they pay us $1.5 million the next week. UC's not paying that type of money. Okay, like that's part of the death of regional rivalries in college football, and this one might not be any different. But as far as a UC perspective on the schedule, I don't have a problem with the way the schedule has worked out here recently and would work out going forward.
Okay, yeah. I don't think I'm looking for like a specific answer. I think I just wanted to kind of put that out there because it maybe kind of gave pause. So like, what if he's like not shooting shit, obviously, but like it is something to consider, that drifting apart and why and things like that. But on to Houston, on to the Cougars.
Houston Cougars. Cougars are 1-2 right now under Willie Fritz, who we know pretty well as from his days in Tulane. Bearcats open up, at least on ESPN odds, at 5.5-point favorites. You're looking at a over-under of like 47.5 points right now. So, I'm sorry, and then those lines have moved. The Bearcats are now down to 3.5-point favorites. So if you're betting as you're listening to this, you're probably seeing Bearcats at 3.5 and a 47.5 over under. ESPN gives us about a 62% chance of winning this game. In no universe do I expect us to lose this game. Holy hell. Houston has not been great this year. They just beat the pants off of Rice. Was that last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. They did play a kind of a weird game with Oklahoma, though. I don't even know what that was about. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can give us some more insight there. If they have a running back that we should be aware of, Sneed. As far as I remember, he's pretty damn fast and can get moving downhill in a hurry. Don't know much about the rest of the team other than they look to be struggling a little bit right now.
Yeah. Listen to the presser today. I mean, Satsies is a challenge for them. They match up really good against us. I mean, they got a big quarterback, 6'5", 235, so he can run you over. Usually those guys have a cannon of a deep ball. But you got to watch out for. So, I mean, if he softens up on the run, and we don't have a spy on him, then we might be in for a long day. Just given the sample size we've had so far this year. Their defense is a concern. While we're looking more and more like a Big 12 offense, and really it's a Big 12 team, that is your answer to the Houston Oklahoma game. They held them to 318 yards. Actually, no, sorry. They held them to 249 yards and actually outgained them that game. 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion basically were ultimately the difference in that game. So on top of that, they've also had a interception or a fumble in all 3 of their games. 2 of them, they've had an interception and a fumble. The first one, they had a interception, I believe. So they have the possibility of making you turn the ball over.
I like that. I like that stat. That's a nice nugget.
Actually, interception in every game. Sorry. They did not have a fumble. They did fumble themselves, but they have made the teams turn the ball over still. So I would be wary of that in errant throws, hoping that the line can keep him upright or at least give him time that he needs.
So their quarterback, you said quarterback, and this triggered me here. Donovan Smith, their quarterback, has been sacked 11 times so far.
Yeah.
3 interceptions, like you said, and only 2 touchdowns. Is this a team that can't beat us in the air? We said Sneed, he's a decent running back. There's not a wide receiver that they have that the numbers really stand out. Steven Johnson.
I mean, they're quick though, from what Coach Sat said. So if they give them the ball in space, maybe they can bust us up. So.
Okay. I'll tell you. You'll see what I think about Houston when I give you my score prediction for this game here in a little bit. I don't think Houston's very good. Do you remember the last time Houston beat us in a game? It's been like the opposite of basketball.
It's been
They've not beaten. It's been a long time. Like, I don't know, 2018 maybe, 2016, somewhere in there.
What was it? Deer King was there. So
I think so. They were, and then what's the Tom? What was his name? Their coach. He ended up going to Texas.
Herman.
Tom Herman. That's it. I think Tom Herman was there last time they beat us. I don't have to fact check me, but that's what I would guess. So again, I don't think Houston's going to beat us until I can actually see it with my own eyes, and I don't really think this one will be close.
Yeah. Well, the strategy there is going to be to make him one-dimensional. Essentially, he is going to run it. You have to make him, pass it, basically.
Yeah.
Make him beat you there is essentially what it is.
There's their backup quarterback. His last name is Ale, like the beer, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah.
I hope Ale goes down really easily this week.
Well, basically, the thing is, you have to hope that you can make them one-dimensional long enough to put some points on the board. Their defense is still really solid, and so you're hoping they're not limiting you to the point where like they're kind of dragging you down, to where they can get ahead of you in points. Off of maybe a freak play or like the running back bricks out and just missile attack, whatever it is. Because it seems more like the threat is like once they get going and get that daylight, then that's where our issues are going to begin. So we have to keep doing what we were doing against Miami in the rushing attack, and play those gap assignments, keep in the backfield, push, make contact, hold on to that contact. And then, like again, make that not work to the point where like he has to go to the air on that.
Yeah.
There will be some moments where he probably will escape the pocket. And get free.
I don't think it's a shutout. I don't think they're that bad, but
yeah.
Just a programming note here. I think this might be the first one of the season. The game starts at noon and it's on FS1. Not relegated down to ESPN Plus. I know some people don't like that. I don't mind ESPN Plus as long as it's working.
Yeah.
It seems like during basketball season, they have more trouble than football season for some reason. But FS1 on Saturday, so we'll see how that goes. Anything else about Houston? Like I said, I'd like to see Kiner maybe around 25, 26 carries a game. I don't think that would hurt. There's a couple. I got real mad online a couple times last week when they gave the wrong guy the ball. They decided to run the ball a couple times, and it wasn't the Kiner or.
We can't run them all the time,
I know, but still, it's like it was like a third down situation. I don't know. It was like a 3rd and 2 or something. It was. I don't know.
Okay, so they had put out Victor. And they had it was a heavy set too. So they had like 3 backs. We try to run a stretch play with them instead of just kind of going off our interior, which I think would have just been the better move on that.
Stretch my brain is what that did.
They want
my heart.
They want Victor Dawson to be sort of the heavy set back. So.
Okay, well, we'll see here.
But if Kyner's doing what he's doing, then it really doesn't matter too much. But I guess situationally, you need to find that's what Pryor and Dawson are meant to do: replace certain parts of his game, and, when you need it.
I got a question. I got a Kiner question for you, and then let's do our predictions here for this week. In a league that is good running back heavy, not just running back heavy, but we got some studs in the Big 12 that are nationally known. If Kiner can keep up this momentum, like obviously the team has to win for us to get more attention. That just comes with it. But how good can Kiner be in this league if he can keep this up?
He'll be a weapon. They'll have to game plan for him, at least, at the very least, and they probably already do at this point. He's already started to show that. Last year, coming off of last year, he was still 1,000-yard back.
Right.
That's nothing to ignore. Because the rushing offense started to work, minus just being predictable in the red zone.
He's on pace to have he's on pace to have 1,200 yards.
Yeah, I'd say. He'd be up there for some awards maybe That also has to lead to results for us, though.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like that has to lead to results for us. Yeah. He'll still definitely get some looks. Shelf life of running back in the NFL isn't very long, so they like to stock up now.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, that's what's Moss with the Bengals been in the league 5 or 6 years.
Yeah,
and a lot of people's given up on him already.
Yeah. So.
But yeah. So
I'd say Derek Phillips also needs to continue having big games, keep his trajectory going. I mean, coach said he challenged him to get back there, and he called him out specifically in a meeting. And he took these guys seem like they are starting to respond to the challenges. They're not taking offense to it. The culture seems like it's starting to build. Obviously, maybe that's just coming off of a win, but it seems like they're bought in. The hope is, as much as they had this game circled, that's not all they had circled.
True. Hopefully we got one mid-October circled. Hopefully at the beginning of November we got one circled there as well. Plenty of games to circle in this schedule. I was talking about UCF and West Virginia there, so I'd like to win those games. Although UCF had a impressive come from behind win this past week against TCU, but this isn't a UCF podcast, so fuck them.
They're going to be a problem down the road regardless. Unfortunately,
that's what I want to hear, Darin.
But
you're right. I know.
It's true. KJ Jefferson's essentially going to be a better version of who we're seeing Saturday. So
that's true.
But that's down the road. I mean, if this team picks up some confidence, if they can get this win this weekend, I think they're going to be feeling pretty good at 3-1. And hopefully that does something for them, and they keep it rolling. This offense is built to get into shootouts a little bit. I don't know if it's final form. But we have the pieces now. We have, a bit of we got a good receiver, we got a good tight end, we got a good running back, and the quarterback is competent. So, the offense works. We just need the defense. The defense, it's going to have growing pains. We got a lot of young guys. They seem like they're starting to settle in, and hopefully doing this at home will help. So
Give me you won last week. So let's go over that.
What was the prediction?
Your score prediction was 27-14.
Okay.
You were pretty close there.
16. I was off by 2. Almost had a perfect score here.
Yeah. So you definitely picked that one. I don't know why I rewrote that down wrong. I guess 27-24, and you were 27-14. So, point to you. That gives you a 2-1 lead in our score guesses that we're making here. I don't know. What do we think about Houston? I think I went first last week. I wrote down my score already.
We're gonna go like 30-10.
Oh, we are close, good sir. 30-10. From Darin. I wrote down 30-13.
Okay.
We are right there. So there's not a lot of margin of error there. I like it. I think we both think the same about the Houston Cougars. So hopefully the momentum can carry us loud in the Nippert. Hopefully people are getting rowdy. Will you be back in town?
I will, but I'm going to a wedding. Congratulations, Fritz and Aqua. I will see you guys Saturday.
Congratulations, but hashtag stop fall weddings. I had one myself.
We had like a late fall wedding last year, so it was like during Oklahoma State game, I think. So
yeah. All right, good sir. We'll be back. Last call. If you're listening to this still, jump on Twitter Spaces and give us your opinions.
I will try to be at last call.
You might not be there. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the listeners jump in, and it'll be me talking to myself if it has to be, but that's hard to do. So jump in and talk to me, please. Darin, have fun at the wedding and have fun in Cincy. Look for that new Cappy Snacks. I'll leave you with this. Cheers and go Bearcats.
Cheers. Go Bearcats.